Chapter 6. What the Birds Said. A lad named Kong Hia Chiang, who lived with his parents in the mountains, understood the language of the birds. One evening, as he was studying, a flock of birds sat on a tree before his window and sang.
Kong Hia Chiang, on the southern plain, a sheep awaits you by a heap of stones, a fine fat wether that the dogs have slain. You eat the flesh, and we will pick the bones.
Kong Hia Chiang went and brought the sheep home and cooked it for dinner. The next morning, a shepherd came and said that one of his sheep was missing. He had found blood on the meadow, had followed the trail, and it had brought him to that house. Kong Hia Chiang said that he had brought in the sheep which was killed by the dogs. The birds had told him about it. Nobody believed him, as they thought he made up the story. He was taken to the prison. While he was awaiting his trial before the magistrate, a bird flying eastward, perched on the wall, saw him and piped.
Foes approach the western border, banners, bows, and spears in order, while the gate lacks watch or warder.
Kong Hia Chiang urged his jailer to inform the magistrate of the danger of invasion through the unprotected western pass. The jailer did not believe in Kong Hia Chiang's ability to speak to the bird and was also afraid of the magistrate. So he decided to test the young boy first. He took some rice, soaked a part of it in sweetened water and a part in salt water. He then spread the whole on the roof of a shed. He brought Kong Hia Chiang and asked him if he knew why so many birds were chirruping overhead. Kong Hia Chiang at once replied that those on the roof were hailing those that were flying past and saying,
Call a halt! Call a halt! Here is rice, fresh and white. Half is sweet, half is salt. Stop a bit, take a bite.
The jailer was convinced that the prisoner understood the speech of birds and therefore hurried away to warn the magistrate. He told the magistrate of the warning and the test. The magistrate sent a swift courier to notify the military officers, and a scout was sent out to the west. Kong Hia Chiang's words were confirmed, and troops were dispatched to strengthen the garrison at the pass. The invaders were stopped just in time. The great service rendered to the country by Kong Hia Chiang was acknowledged by his sovereign. He was invited to study with the princes and eventually raised to a high rank among the nobles of the empire.